Hi, Frank, please. Thanks. So my name is Dan Kahn. I'm the Executive Director of Open Plans, whose facility this is. We were known as the Open Plans Project until last month, and we're a not-for-profit that's been operating in New York for 10 years. We use open source software and journalism to engage and inform communities, both in New York and around the country and around the world. And we're very excited to be in partnership with the Personal Democracy Forum, which, as I think all of you know, has previously been a very exclusive, expensive annual event to go to. And I'm very excited to go to my first one next month. But they're now beginning this monthly seminar series. So we're thrilled to be able to make available our event space and work with them on it. And so I believe our missions are really very similar about using technology and trying to engage with citizens and open up government and have government work better in a way that it hasn't always before, but that most of the people in the room are involved with and interested in. Please, hopefully you'll be entertained and informed tonight. Please tell your friends about it. We'd love to get even bigger turnout next month and really turn this into a great wonderful event. And I'll just ask, when you have a chance, please Google Open Plans and take a look at some of the projects we're working on, like street zones and doctor schools, or Open Trade Center, OpenGeo, really great open source mapping software. So Google Open Plans. Thanks, and here's my name.
Thanks, Dan. I'm going to stay seated because the idea is to keep things informal and more conversational and given this is such an intimate space, feel free to move up and slide around if you want a better view. So welcome everybody. First of all, let me apologize for my partner in crime, Andrew Richet, who was the advertised host, and he may well show up at any moment, but he was flying back from Europe, working on plans in fact for PDF in Barcelona in the fall, and the pilot first decided to slow things down by dumping fuel from the plane before they took off, and then after they took off and hit a headwind, announced that they didn't have enough fuel to make it to Newark. So they landed in Newburgh, and I know he's on the ground now in Newark, but may not even be through customs yet. So if he makes it here, great. If not, I'm sure we'll be fine. Also, a couple words before I introduce our guests and we get into the meat of the evening. I just wanted to say thank you to Dan and to Open Plans for hosting us. This is really the launch of something that we hope will be a really fun collaboration between our two organizations. I think what we're hoping to do with this evening series is bring together interesting people and doers who are finding new ways to make the civic space work better, empowered by technology that connects us, that makes information more accessible, that empowers people. And so we're looking for doing this once a month in more or less this kind of informal format with a little drinks and conversation. And we have an interesting series planned going forward. We're not doing one in June because of the PDF conference. We're kind of heads down on getting that done. But in July, on July 8th, we're looking forward to talking with Brian Lehrer of WNYC and Doug Rushkoff, the author, about rethinking community radio in a networked age. And just to give you a sense of the types of programs that we have coming up, that'll be on July 8th. And if you talk to Amos, you can sign up for that. Amos, were we going to do like a special sign up tonight if people sign up?
Yes, 50% off.
Okay,
$10 if you sign up today.
Sure. So if you're interested in the future of community radio in a network age with Brian Lehrer and Doug Rushkoff, that'll be July 8th here, same time, same venue. Keep that in mind. I don't want anybody to feel ambushed. Okay, so we're really, really honored to have two fantastic guests with us tonight to open the series. And the way things are going to work is after I introduce them, they'll each talk for a few minutes, give us a sort of big picture overview of what they're thinking and working on, and then I'll engage them with a couple of questions, and then we'll leave plenty of time for you guys in the audience to also ask questions. And hopefully we won't make it too late in the evening for those of you who have plans for dinner, and be done around 8, 8:15, something like that. But we'll hang out also, and the bar will stay open for a bit longer. So, enough throat clearing. Our first speaker is going to be Carol Post, the new commissioner of the Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications. She was appointed to her position by Mayor Bloomberg at the end of last year, but she's been involved in municipal and government operations since 1996. Before coming to DO IT, she served as the Director of Agency Services at the Mayor's Office of Operations, where she led a team of tech and policy advisors to oversee agency performance and help coordinate strategic initiatives vital to the Mayor's vision for the city. Before that, she was the Executive Director for Strategic Planning for the New York City Department of Buildings, where she was instrumental in re-engineering agency operations and led the agency's efforts to establish and prioritize a strategic agenda. And she's going to be joined by John Tolva, who's the Director of Citizenship and Technology for the IBM Corporation. John's based in Chicago, where he's responsible for developing new social, educational, environmental, and cultural heritage projects in partnership with nonprofit institutions and government entities. He manages international teams from specialized IBM skill groups and labs around the world, and they're doing a bunch of really interesting projects, all involving cities and data and people. So I'm looking forward to hearing from both of them. I'm going to hand the baton over to Carol, who's going to give us, and this is really a chance to hear from her, her vision for DO IT and its role in the city as we all start to embrace the network data that we're in. Carol.
Thank you. I appreciate the introduction. We're being filmed. Applaud, please. I do appreciate it. We're really pleased and honored to be here tonight and to be able to speak about the vision that we see for the future of DO IT as a New York City agency and what I hope represents the philosophy of the administration moving forward into the final term. You can get that on film as well. But we have an ambitious agenda, and it is one that, having come from the mayor's office the past 4 years, I was really living and breathing the idea of agency reformation and delivering city services in a more open and transparent way. And so I very much bring that philosophy to this position and to an agency that had already begun a course down that path, and I hope to augment that and really accelerate it in an aggressive way and embrace it. And we're looking forward to having participation in events like this, being more collaborative, being more open. So what I wanted to do is just step you through a few of the areas of focus at the agency that I think are relevant to the audience tonight and that really represent some forward thinking for an agency of this nature. But before I speak about that, if you'll indulge me for a moment to just give you some background about what an agency like DO IT does and how vital it is to city operations. And I just sketched some notes because the laundry list of the things that this agency does on a day-to-day basis is voluminous. But to just give you some breadth and scope, this is a 24/7, 365 days a week operation that you don't notice when things are going right, and you don't notice when they're doing their jobs every day, the men and women of this agency. But we really are instrumental in powering the city of New York in ways that are sort of behind the scenes. But if we weren't doing our job, you'd notice very quickly. Let me just step through that. As I said, it's a 24/7 operation that New Yorkers are using every day to engage with the city and to get city services. We host tens of thousands of email accounts, hundreds of thousands of telephones and BlackBerries around the city. We operate a fiber optic network, a wireless network for public safety and for public service, a radio network, TV and broadcast facilities. And we oversee the city's cable TV infrastructure and public pay telephones. Many of us use those anymore, but there are thousands of them on the street, and we're responsible for them. We also operate the city's 311 call center, which many of you do use every day, as well as NYC.gov and 311 online, all of which have really been the window to residents, visitors, and people globally to interact with the city in many ways. So, group and Nick Spordone from our communications team. But so let me share a little bit about what these gentlemen have been asked to do and how it impacts you. Starting with James. James has been with the agency for some time and has really been responsible for a lot of the advancements behind NYC.gov, 311, and 311 online. We're going to build upon that success and that progress and advance NYC.gov in ways that will make it less passive, more interactive, and more customizable and tailored. We'd really like it to be, as much as it is a great tool and a great window for New Yorkers, residents, visitors to interact with the city, we want to make it even more of a user-friendly tool that you can customize to what your needs and interests are and tailor it to your usage and really be able to access data and information at your fingertips in a much easier way. Loads and loads of data available on NYC.gov and behind it, but you sometimes have to know where to go to get it. And we'd like to make that an easier interaction, more user-friendly interaction. So James will be charged to get things like that done. We also want to engage with government information and government data. Our data mine exists today. It's out there, it's available for use. And it's a really underutilized treasure trove of information. And if you literally just search NYC data mine, it pops up, and it's a searchable format for hundreds of data sets that have been established, and we have raw data and geodata, and it's all available there. You can literally search by a keyword, and you'll come up with a dozen or a couple of dozen different data sets of meaningful, some obscure, some random data sets, but all very interesting information for whatever purpose it might serve. We set it up to serve the purpose of supporting the Big Apps competition, which was, again, a success, I think, in being able to show how a conversation between sharing data that's available at the city, making that available to those who would use it for unique and very interesting purposes, results in a tangible outcome of a number of apps, dozens of apps that are now widely in use around the globe, and visitors, residents, many of us are using these on a regular basis. And it, I think, represents. The last thing about our web and new media operations is to really build upon the success of 311. I think, from Mayor Bloomberg's legacy of leaving 311 as a hallmark of how the city should operate in a really efficient way for the citizens and the residents of the city. We've advanced it to what was sort of the easy next evolution, which is 311 Online. 311 Online is essentially a replication of everything and anything you could possibly do when you call 311. You can now obtain that information online at your fingertips. And then the next evolution of that is our 311 mobile app. And the 311 mobile app for the iPhone has been available since fall, and it is, again, it's a way to increase that interaction. So you see a pothole, take a picture of it through your 311 Online, upload it, and send it right through directly into 311, where it's then routed to the responsible city agency to make sure that whatever it is that was identified is getting fixed. This is